Captain Kidd, the most underrated pirate ever. Our story begins on a small ship in 1689, where a captain is being overthrown by his crew. After he was sent overboard, a vote was supposedly taken, and William Kidd became the new captain. The ship was renamed the Blessed William, and William gained his now famous title, Captain Kidd. Kidd decided to head for the Nevis, a British island in the Caribbean. It was there that he met Christopher Codrington, who accepted them into his naval fleet. At this time, Britain was at war with France, so naval defense was necessary. After a while, Kidd was told to raid the island of Marie Gallant, however you pronounce that, and they did. This event signified that they were more than just another ship. It was also at this time that Kidd's ship was stolen by a pirate named Robert Culliford. He comes up again later, so remember him. It was at this point that the British governor of New York, Bellamont, asked Kidd to take care of a few rapscallion pirates. Kidd accepted, and with the help of a few nobles, he was able to afford the Adventure Galley. It had 34 cannons, it weighed 284 tons burden, and Kidd handpicked 150 crewmates. He first sailed down to Great Britain to get more supplies, and then, in September 1696, the Adventure Galley sailed down the River Thames into the vast ocean. Captain Kidd planned to head to the Cape of Good Hope, a Boer colony at the southern tip of Africa. It didn't take too long for half of his crew to get sick and die of cholera. Captain Kidd also killed one of his crewmates. The crewmate kept urging that they attack a Dutch ship that they had seen on the horizon. This eventually spun into an argument where Kidd called the crewmate a lousy dog. Eventually, it escalated to the point where Kidd threw a bucket at the crewmate's head, fracturing his skull, and eventually this led to his death. Another thing that happened during the voyage involved an Indian trading ship. While Kidd was distracted in the lower decks, his crew managed to board an Indian trading ship, looting it and torturing the passengers. By the time they had realized the captain of the ship was an Englishman, it was too late. Kidd wanted to return the treasures to the other crew, but he wasn't going to get in the way of about 100 bloodthirsty pirates. They renamed the ship to the Adventure Prize and continued sailing. Eventually, they reached the Cape of Good Hope, where they met none other than Mr. Robert Culliford. Remember him? He's the dude that stole Kidd's original ship. It was also at this point that almost everyone in Kidd's crew switched to Culliford's side. Understandably, Kidd was pretty fed up at this point and wanted nothing more than to go home. He burned down the Adventure Galley because it had become leaky and boards had begun to rot, and he set sail for New York on the Adventure Prize. Kidd knew that he couldn't return to a British colony in a stolen British ship, so he set sail for the Caribbean, to trade it off for a new ship. After he had done that, he made his way for an island on the coast of New York, known as Gardiner's Island. It was here that he made history. What do you think of when you think of pirates? Many of you probably thought of buried treasure. Well, it was on Gardiner's Island that Kidd became the only pirate to actually bury treasure. He inspired years and years of nerd media without even knowing it. Almost every pirate-themed book you've ever read was inspired by one guy. Let that sink in. He knew that he was going to be charged with piracy upon arriving in New York, and hoped to use the location of the treasure as a bribe. He was pretty hesitant to visit America again, but Bellamont, the person who originally sent him on the voyage, urged him to come to Boston. Plot twist. They arrested him. Yeah, Bellamont arrested Kidd. Bellamont knew that he would have a target on his back if Kidd was ever captured, because he had funded Kidd's voyage. So, he reasoned that the only way to get out unscathed was to turn in Kidd himself. Kidd then spent the next year of his life in prison, before finally getting a trial. Kidd came out and revealed that he had hidden treasure somewhere, but the British didn't care. They revealed that they knew about Kidd murdering someone with a bucket, and they knew about the Adventure Prize. In the end, Kidd was sentenced to death. On May 23rd, 1701, he was hanged.
Oh, me name is Captain Kidd, as I sailed.
The corpse of Captain Kidd was moved to the River Thames as a warning to future pirates. Shortly after his death, a song was published, known as Captain Kidd's Farewell to the Sea. With that, William Kidd's story ends. Have a nice day, everybody.
And most wickedly I did as I sailed. I was born in Greenock town afore I sailed. For I say